As you all saw on the board picture, in the beginning I started with sectors of Indian economy, and then I classified them into three, that is primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Now sectors, what do you mean by sectors? Sectors are the places where each one works individually. So in India we have three sectors, usually in the whole world we have three sectors. So first sector is primary sector. Primary is also known as agricultural sector because people involved in this sector are directly related to nature. So all the people who are doing farming, all the people who are doing dairy farming, poultry farming, fishing, mining, quarrying, keeping cattle, grazing cattle, dairy farming for milk purpose, anything related with the nature is known as your primary sector. So it is also known as agricultural sector. Now when this agriculture, you get farming, you get rice, wheat, sugar cane, all these people working in the primary sector, they give you. But we can't use sugar cane directly. We can't use the wheat directly. We need to convert it into something. So sugar cane is converted into sugar, wheat is converted into flour, then rice also is thrashed and made into your edible rice. We can't eat it with its wrappings. So wherever this sector, secondary sector means all the industrial, all the manufacturing and all the places where this raw material is converted into the finished good. That comes as your secondary sector. So we know it as a manufacturing sector or an industrial sector. And the last, people like me, people like your other teachers, people like doctors, engineers, lawyers, judges, policemen, all do whose service, they come under tertiary sector, which is also known as service sector. Got the point? Primary sector, agriculture sector, which is related to your nature. Secondary sector is your industrial manufacturing sector, so it is also called industrial sector. And third is your tertiary sector, which is also known as service sector, because the people who do the jobs come under this sector. Okay, got it, children? Now we'll move on to the next topic. The next topic says next topic we'll go in detail with the primary sector. Okay, primary sector, which I've already told you, is also known as agriculture sector. So people working in natural resources, it could be fishing, it could be farming, it could be forestry, it could be dairy, it could be agriculture. So in the earlier scenario, in India we had the largest number of people working was in this primary sector. It was 75% people were involved in the primary sector, agriculture sector. That time nobody worked in industries, because in industries you need to work when you are skilled for it, we are trained for it. In the service sector also same, we have, you need to be qualified, you need to have the respective knowledge regarding that subject, so then only you qualify for teaching. So most of the people that time, they were involved in the primary sector. So once again, primary sector, agricultural sector, natural sector, fishing, farming, forestry, dairy, agriculture, and so on. We move on to the secondary sector, that is also known as your service sector. So in this we come under, we also know it as industrial sector. That is, you got factories, workshops, your manufacturing places. So it is also known as industrial sector, because industry is manufacturing all your raw material into finished goods or usable goods at home. Your wheat, rice, sugar cane, all the other things like dal, we have, whatever it is, we have it in the secondary sector, because the secondary sector comprises of industries, factories, machines, workshops, where this raw material is changed into the finished goods. We'll come into the third sector, that is your tertiary sector, also known as service sector. So people work in ATM booths, people work in schools, hospitals, banks, etc. Many places, wherever they do service and they get paid for their service, it is known as tertiary sector, and it is also known as your service sector, because you are doing service, and with that service what you do, you are getting your money, your salary. That is only when we do service. So service sector is also very important. Now, when we have to compare the three sectors, see, when you're asked in the school or in the other places, you have to compare all these three sectors together. So first of all, you have to remember that they are economically interdependent on each other. तीनों ही सेक्टर एक दूसरे पे डिपेंडेंट हैं. Then if I am supposed to ask you what is the each sector's role played in India, how much did the primary sector earn, how much does the secondary sector earn, and how much does the third sector earn? So it will be very difficult, beta. First calculating primary, all the profits minusing the usage. Secondary, all the profits minus whatever is used, electricity bill, water tax and this tax. Service, same thing. The school pays the salary, first he counts the fees, then he pays the teacher, takes out the electricity bill, the water bill, the smart class bill and all, and then they give an estimate. And then three sectors we add together and we combine it and we say we have compared the three sectors. So now today we don't move on to a very new method of comparing. I'll give you with a small example. You purchase 8 rupees or you sell 8 rupees rice or whatever it is, wheat, to the industry. Now how much did you earn? Many will say we earned 8 rupees because we paid 8 rupees. No, you had spent money on that. 4 रुपए का बीज भी था बेटा, 1 रुपए का बिजली का बिल भी था, 1 रुपए का पानी का बिल भी था, तो 6 रुपए आपको कॉस्ट किया और आपने 8 रुपए में बेचा, मीन्स हमने 2 रुपए कमाए. अब जिसने बेटा गेहूं को आटा बनाना था, he mixed it and he sold it at 10. Now he cannot say I've got a profit of 10 because 8 rupees तो उसने खरीदा है. 50 पैसे की बेटा बिजली भी यूज हुई होगी, थोड़ा मशीन में भी लगा होगा, तो एटलीस्ट ही earned 1 rupee. And he sold it to another factory where they make biscuits. In the biscuits they made this wheat of 1 kg into 4 packets costing 15 rupees each, that is 60 rupees. Now do you think 15 rupees में उनको बेच के पूरा फायदा हुआ होगा? नहीं बेटा, 10 रुपए का तो खरीदा है. Then biscuits are not made only with flour. You need sugar, you need chocolates, you need cream, you need whatever it is, essence. बहुत सी चीज चाहिए, तो ultimately that biscuit cost 60 rupees. So now finally I will tell the country that my final goods and services were 60 rupees. Now I don't need to go separate because primary वाला का 8 रुपए भी बेटा इसमें है, सेकेंडरी वाले के 10 रुपए भी इसमें हैं, तो उनका प्रॉफिट, उनकी खरीद वरीद सब है. सो फाइनल गुड्स की हमने कॉस्ट निकाल ली, तो अब हमें बीच में अलग अलग नहीं करना है. प्राइमरी का अलग नहीं करना है, सेकेंडरी का अलग नहीं करना है, सर्विस का अलग नहीं करना है, क्योंकि सर्विस भी हुई है बेटा. बिस्किट वाला लेके गया होगा ट्रक में या किसी रिक्शे में, तो वो भी एक ड्यूटी कर रहा है, उसके बदले पैसा मिलेगा, सर्विस. So all the costs are included in that, so I don't need to go separately. And finally I tell the country that my GDP is 60 rupees. That is gross domestic product. So in this, the person selling it for 8 rupees, spending 6 and earning 2. The person buying it at 8 rupees, selling it at 10, earning 1 rupee. The biscuit owner preparing 4 packets, 60 rupees. And final value is 60 rupees. Now we don't need to count. प्राइमरी वाले का 8 रुपए, उसमें 6 रुपए खर्चा, 2 रुपए प्रॉफिट. सेकेंडरी वाले का 8 रुपए का खर्चा, 1 रुपए का और खर्चा, 1 रुपए का प्रॉफिट. बिस्किट वाले का we don't need to count. We have got all the three sectors because economically They are interdependent. Now we have got all the three sectors, so I can proudly say my GDP is 60 rupees. ऐसे करके बेटा हर चीज में हम प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी और सर्विस सेक्टर को जोड़ के एक जीडीपी निकाल देते हैं. I hope it is very clear to you, all of you. In case it's not clear, I'll be taking this subject in the Zoom class also. Now we are talking about the slide which I had shown you. It's about historic changes in the sector. I told you that earlier in the 1970s, 75% people were working in agricultural sector, primary. But changes have come from sector to sector now. Service sector has become more important in life. प्राइमरी में बेटा जो पहले 74% होता था, नाउ इट हैज कम डाउन टू 49%. There are various reasons. Firstly, primary sector is God dependent. A farmer depends on rain. If it's at the correct time, he can expect a good crop. If it's in the wrong time, it may destroy his crop. Sometimes electricity is not there, sometimes labor is not there, sometimes your crop doesn't come out as much you had wanted. So there is no security left now. Whereas in service sector we see everything is fixed, planned working hours, you get a monthly salary, you have your holiday, whatever it is. So people are running towards tertiary sector, service sector. First of all, we have got various institutions that have opened, banks, बड़े-बड़े malls, easy day like big bazaar, picture halls, big restaurant, all these have opened, so jobs have been created. So the more jobs are created, the more people work. So many people are leaving the primary sector and coming to the service sector. Service sector is secure. At the end of 1 month you get your salary. You have 4 Sundays as holidays, so people run towards this tertiary sector, and the biggest change has come up because of the IT sector. The information and technology center, which is like you must have seen call center people of Idea, Airtel and all. Children who are good in English, who are good in Hindi, after class 12th, they go to these call centers and they become customer care supporters, and they get 15 to 20,000 rupees just for answering to you all your queries. My idea number is not working, what could I do, this that. तो लोग बेटा भाग रहे हैं सर्विस सेक्टर की तरफ से. और प्राइमरी सेक्टर में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गई है? देयर इज डिसगाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इन प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी सेक्टर. डिसगाइज्ड मींस आई हैव गॉट अ पीस ऑफ लैंड. मेरे पास एक लैंड है 1 एकड़ की, and 5 people employed on that land, they dig the whole land in 2 days. In 1 day they put the crop also, and 3rd, 4th day to water it also. Now instead of 5, I will keep 50 people better. You have to remember, land remains the same. It is 1 acre only. 5 people could do it in 2 days. 50 people will do it most probably half a day. But their work is not productive. उनके काम से मुझे कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. Because 5 were doing well for me 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. 50 will finish it in 1 day. But those 45 extra people, they are disguised unemployment. They seem to be working, but their working has got no profit. इसको कहते हैं disguised employment. मीन्स काम करते हुए दिख रहे हैं, आप वहां से पास करेंगे, आपके वहां पर 50 लोग लगे, बट वहां पर 45 की जरूरत नहीं थी बेटा. So when those 45 were not required, means they were facing disguised unemployment. And in the primary and secondary sector, we have one more, skilled unemployment. You must have seen an electrician, a plumber. They wait the whole day in the shop. Usually in your houses also, how many times your electricity gets disturbed? Maybe once in 2 months, 3 months, one switch is some problem, you call the electrician. So that electrician, the plumber is waiting. I should get some work, I should get some work, I should get some work. But the problem is, they are skilled. They want to do work, but they are not able to do it because they are not required. So maybe a day will come When they open the shop, sit till night, but no customer comes because electricity, plumbers, carpenters are not required every time. Maybe once in a year, once, twice in a year, 4 times in a year. Like that, each house, but electricity once put up, carpentry once put up, taps and this once put up. Very rarely they get spoiled. These days you have a highly technical things. Then one is seasonal unemployment. At the Diwali time, Hindu people are all getting their houses painted, right? Because it's a festival of lights, color, and goddess Lakshmi will be coming to your house, तो पूरा घर सजा के रखते हैं, पेंट करवाते हैं नया. बट वही पेंटर्स बेटा बाद के सब महीनों में खाली बैठे होते हैं. सीजनल. They want to work. They want to paint someone's house, but the problem is nobody is asking them to paint unless and until ikka dukka there are marriages. किसी घर में शादी हुई तो उन्होंने अपना घर पेंट कराना है, तो उसमें भी बेटा 50 पेंटर होते हैं, आप 2 को बुलाते हैं. 48 seasonal है. One is chronical unemployment or chronical hunger. These days you see it's a festival of mangoes. The summer month, everybody of you, 1 or 2, 3, 4 mangoes is a common practice in your homes daily. But there's a rickshawala. He's seeing you buy that mangoes. You buy 2 kgs for 100 rupees. You can afford. The rickshawala son also wants those mangoes, but he doesn't have the money. The resource is there, but the money is not there. So this is called chronical hunger. So this is also one way of unemployment. Chronicles. We want to work at that time, but we don't have work. When we work, that is not required. So 3-4 types: disguised, skilled, okay, seasonal unemployment. So प्राइमरी सेक्टर है एग्रीकल्चर, ये फेस करती है बेटा. एक टीचर बन गए हम सर्विस सेक्टर में. वी नो वी हैव गॉट 1 month holidays in the summer, 10 days in the winter, Sundays are holidays, plus other Jayantis are holidays. So rest 12 months we are secure. A painter has to see the season of Diwali. A electrician has to wait for a call from somebody's house कि मेरे घर में बिजली ठीक करने आओ. A plumber has to wait for somebody to ring up and say मेरा नल खराब हो गया है. तो बेटा कहीं ना कहीं सर्विस सेक्टर इज गेनिंग इम्पोर्टमेंट, और आज आईटी सेक्टर की वजह से सर्विस सेक्टर की तरफ लोग ज्यादा भाग रहे हैं. बिकॉज देयर इज सिक्योरिटी, देयर इज परमानेंसी, एंड देयर इज सेफ गार्डिंग आवरसेल्व्स. ओके, वी कम टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. The slide says how to create more employment. See, we are facing a problem of unemployment, especially at this time of COVID, coronavirus. Many people have lost their jobs. So how could we create employment? So remember, these will be all in the textbooks, all in the newspapers, all in the magazines, all in the words of the leaders. करता कोई कुछ नहीं है. First, technical and institutional reforms. We have to change the technology and institutional reforms. Institutional means we should have some small schemes for the poor people. For farmers, we should have loaning suvidha. We should have insurance of the crop, or technically we should provide them with some machines and all, so we could create more employment. Second is we can focus on small scale industries. गांव में छोटी छोटी इंडस्ट्रीज, छोटे छोटे कारखाने लगा के हम इन लोगों की मदद कर सकते हैं. Then especially improving the rural infrastructure. जो हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है बेटा गाँव में, वहाँ उसको improve करना. जैसे कुछ लोगों के पास फसल होती है बेटा, they have lots of potatoes and tomatoes, and when they go to the market, it seems that potato is coming for only 5 rupee kg, tomato is only for 10 rupee kg. Now the farmer who has spent thousands in that crop feels how to sell it at such a low cost. So we can have some like cold storage for them. We can have some cold storage, so that cold storage will work. We can store the crops, and once the crops are getting a good price, then we can ask the farmer to sell it in the market. So maybe 5 ke badle 20 rupees potato, 40 rupees tomato. So he has saved. At least he feels happy. These days sometimes farmers are but are in such a loss that they just dump their crops into the road. A person works hard throughout the year just to get a good crop, and by the time he reaches the market or the mandi, he comes to know it is only 2 rupee kg. 5 रुपये तो उसने फसल 1 किलो पे लगाई है, बिक रही है 2 रुपए किलो. So ultimately he feels frustrated. Many people got checks of 1,000 rupees, though they had spent 20, and one of them sent it to the Prime Minister. This is what I get for. So we can have some cold storage for them. We can have some machines fit which preserve the crop, and at the time when they get a good crop, then they can utilize it. Plus we have to see the health condition of the people also. If the people are healthy, then they will work in a better way. We have to see to the education also. If people are educated, they will be better. We have to see to the tourism also. That when tourists come to our country, they spend money on our country, that is what we gain. Okay, don't think India earns from its own. We only pay tax, that also people steal. So whatever the foreigners bring, the foreign currency that is used in India, that adds to our economy. So we have to encourage health, education and tourism. So we studied about the 3 sectors. Now in the last part, we will divide these sectors into 2 zones. One is an organized sector and one is an unorganized sector. Now organized sector, for example, is a school, like my school. I'm a teacher, so it comes in the organized sector. How? Firstly, we have fixed timing of our job. Secondly, we have fixed salary. We have various benefits like Provident Fund. We have some special relief packages for our children. We are granted some concessions. Plus Sunday is a holiday. Other Jayantis also we have holidays, gazetted holidays, and I'm secure. That is an organized sector where everything is legalized. When I was appointed, I was given a paper in which I signed. I was told my salary, I was told my PF, I was told how many hours to work, I was told what to teach, whatever benefits would I get, the Provident Fund, my children will get a good concession, plus Sundays will be a holiday, gazetted working days will be a holiday. So this is an organized sector. In unorganized sector is like your dhabas or normal small shops in which boys and छोटे छोटे बच्चे लोग काम करते हैं. बेटा उनको 400 रुपए देते हैं और 3 टाइम का खाना, ठीक है, सिंपल खाना, और बीच बीच में कभी कभी कोई पुराने कपड़े दे देंगे. सो अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर हैज नो फिक्स्ड वर्किंग आवर्स. इफ इट्स दिवाली टाइम यू मस्ट हैव सीन स्वीट सेलर्स, दे ओपन द शॉप्स टिल 11. जितने भी लोग दुकान में काम करते हैं उनको करना है. दे डोंट हैव फिक्स्ड सैलरी. लड़का मिला 800 दे दिए, थोड़ा बड़ा है 1000 दे दिए, थोड़ा और बड़ा है 1500 दे दिए. नो फिक्स्ड. दे डोंट हैव पेड हॉलीडेज. दे हैव टू कम ऑन संडे आल्सो. दे डोंट हैव गेजेटेड हॉलीडेज. दे हैव नो पीएफ, नो चिल्ड्रंस बेनिफिट. In case they don't come for 3 days, the shopkeeper or the dhaba malik owner says, get lost, I don't need you, मैंने किसी और को रख लिया है. कुछ नहीं कह सकते. बहुत से लोग 3 दिन नहीं आए, 3 दिन का पैसा काट देंगे. Don't have paid leave. So that is unorganized sector. Now organized sector and unorganized sector are also divided into 2 domain. One is a private sector, one is a public sector. In the private sector, by the word private means all the profit, whatever the money we get, whatever the collection we get at the end of the year, whatever we earn is privately owned. Like you have Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, whatever he earns from Reliance is his personal. Government has got nothing to do with it. Whereas public sector is in which government plays the important role. Like you have LIC, right? You have some oil companies. So in this, everything is, all the profit, all the expenses, everything goes to the government. That is public sector, means it is for all. Ambani's earnings, या Bajaj earnings, या लक्ष्मी मित्तल्स अर्निंग्स आर ऑल प्राइवेट. बेटा उन्होंने अपना मकान बनाया, अपना प्रॉफिट है, कोई उनसे पूछ नहीं सकता. इन इंडिया दे स्टे as reputed citizens because they pay the income tax. So whatever they earn, they have to pay the tax. If the tax is paid, it is white money. If the tax is not paid, it is black money. But in public sector, all the money goes to the government. Okay? With this we come to the end of the chapter, and I hope you have understood the chapters. 3 sectors: primary, secondary service, primary also known as agriculture, secondary known as industrial, and tertiary sector known as service sectors. Then we studied how to compare the sectors. Now we don't take out individually of any sector, we give the last final good, that is called GDP. And then slowly as we move, we start creating more employment. We saw how people are moving towards service sector, what are the reasons towards the service sector, then how we could create employment by getting good education, health and so on, providing good rural infrastructures, providing the farmers some crops to be saved. And then we moved into the last topic, that is organized and unorganized sector. Organized being well systemized, unorganized no system. Then private and public. Private is owned by a person, single person or 2 partners or 3 partners. जो भी कमाई होगी बेटा उनकी होगी. Public sector is owned by the government. Whatever income and profit comes, it comes to the government. Okay, I hope you have understood the chapter. In case you have any doubts, you can call me on my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you.